we're ready to start. Okay?
Yes. Will you put on? Okay, you can just skip to the next one. Ég ætla að byrja á þetta fyrsta á íslensku. Góðan dag, ég heiti Grétar og fyrir ykkur sem þekkja mig ekki, þá er ég framkvæmdastjóri Edico. Edico verður 10 ára í mánuðinum og á þessum tíma hefur afrekað margt á sviði handtölvulausna. Við höfum innleitt hundruð notenda og tugi fyrirtækja í sérhæfðar lausnir sem henta þeirra vinnuumhverfi. Kerfið keyrir á Android stýrikerfi og er einfalt í notkun. Next slide. Við höfum útfært ýmsar sérútgáfur fyrir viðskiptavini eins og til dæmis fyrir verðsamanburð. Einnig útfærðum við öryggisathugun fyrir farþega á leið til Bandaríkjanna. You can put on next slide. Við höfum útfært ýmsa ferla og nokkrir af þeim eru hér upptaldir og það fer eftir viðskiptavinum hvaða virkni á að vera. Next. Hér eru dæmi útlit á lausninni. Next please. Og hér eru dæmi mismunandi the last one. Hér eru dæmi mismunandi virkni eftir viðskiptavinum, en það getur líka verið eftir hlutverkum. So next please. Að undanförnu ári unnið í stóru verkefni með Krónunni að tínslukerfi fyrir snjallverslunina þeirra. Þar sem starfsfólk notar sebra handtölvu við að tína til pantanir og ljós á rafrænu verðmiðanum blikkar til að auðvelda þeim að finna næstu vöru. Nú sjáum við vídeó reynslu Krónunnar sem er 4 mínútur. So you can show the video, Ivo. next one, and the next one. Við erum einnig með aðrar hugbúnaðarlausnir sem vert að nefna. Það annars vegar lausn fyrir verðkanna, eins og þið sjáið hér á myndinni, með auglýsingum og fleira. And the next one. Og hins vegar móttökulausn, sem í móttökum hjá mörgum fyrirtækjum, sem auðvelda viðskiptavinum að ná til starfsmanna. Það sem viðskiptavinir fá SMS, starfsmenn fá SMS þegar viðskiptavinir að koma að hitta á. Next one. Þá ég búinn og ætla að fara yfir bara dagskrána sem eftir í dag. Við fáum fyrst Ivo og Jesper frá Zebra til þess að fara yfir mobility update, sem sagt kynning á hugbúnaðarsvítu Zebra. Ýmis hugbúnaðar þar sem að bæði fylgir með og hægt að kaupa sér viðbót sem geti auðveldað rekstur á handtölum. Síðan ætlar Nadine að fara yfir Mobility DNA og sérstaklega Workforce Connect sem nútíma samskiptatól sem auðveldar samskipti milli viðskiptavina eða starfsmanna segi. Síðan ætlum við að taka hlé í 10 mínútur og eftir það fer Daniel Dombak yfir nútímavæðingu vöruhúsa á lagera. Mjög áhugaverður fyrirlestur frá honum. Hann sérfræðingur í þessum hjá Zebra í þessum málum. Og í lokin þá ætla Ivo og Jesper aftur að fara yfir nýjustu vörur frá Zebra. Áður við endum þetta með spurningum og samantekt. So, Ivo and Jesper, the floor is yours.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gretar. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this webinar that we are doing together with our friends at Edico. My name is Ivo, and I've been working with Gretar and his team at Edico for some years now. Probably met some of you also at the Edico event, I guess a couple of years ago now. And we always look forward to travel to Iceland, and that looks that could be possible very soon again, opening up for maybe I can take my friend from Denmark with me as well. Jesper?
Yes, please. I'm a familiar face up there. I've been at Iceland the last 10 years and supporting Edico.
So Greta, he went through the agenda. I will not repeat that, but we will focus mainly on, before the break on the mobility solutions and a communication platform that we have called Workforce Connect. And if you have any questions during the way, you can use the Q&A functionality, and we will answer. Maybe we can answer straight away, or we will come back to you after the webinar as well. Yeah. So some of you might know us at Zebra, but we have, for those who don't know us that well, we're just going to take a short introduction to our company. So we are a company that's been in this industry for a very long time. We deliver our solutions and hardware and software to many different verticals, and like retail, warehouse, manufacturing, healthcare, transport, logistics, and field operations. And we also see many of these sectors are more combining together. We see solutions are integrated into each other, especially maybe the last year. We see like retail, warehouse, transport, and logistics are very dependent on each other. And we see those solutions are more and more combined together. Zebra is a global company, so we are located in all over the global over the world. But our model is that we sell through our partners, like Edico. So we have partners that add their value to our hardware. That could be their software, that could be the services, or just the resources, the human resources they have. So, and that's a great value for us. And then we also are located in every single corner of the world. So, like I'm living in Norway, but I have taken care of Iceland for the last years now, and it's good to have a competent partner also locally on Iceland. But we've been in this industry for a very long time, actually over 50 years, and that's quite achievement for a technology company, I think. And there has been a lot of acquirements during the way also. Maybe the most familiar one is when Zebra bought Motorola back in 2015. And then they got a complete data capture portfolio with all from the printers and the labels, and then they got the scanners and handhelds, and also they came in with the Android operational systems that has proven to be the right way to go. And our products are always, we always saying that we are working on the edge. So we are working, our products are used where it happens, where the products are produced, where the sales are made, where the orders are shipped, where the patients are treated, where the packages are delivered. You will always see our products. It's maybe if you not are into this industry, you're not aware of it. But if you start looking, you will see that our products are everywhere and often where it's critical, and it have tough demands on the time, on the productivity and the effectiveness. And one thing that is very important in that area, Jesper, is about mobility.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. And we can say that when we go into the enterprise mobility part, so that is the biggest business area for us, and often many places where customers start doing business with us, and then they look into a broader portfolio as well. And we are trying to get all our products to work the best they can together. So a handheld terminal will always work fine with our printers and with our scanners and with our RFID solutions. So we will look into that. But mainly now, if you're looking into a mobility enterprise platform, you need to have some good thoughts and a good strategy around that. And trust is a very important thing. And being here for so many years that we have been, we know that as a global leader also, we have tough competition, but also tough demands from our customers. But what we always do is that we try to innovate and produce new products based on feedback from our customers, the customers that are using our products out in the field, that are handling their ergonomic, giving us feedback all the way, and we always take that back to our designers, so they can do these small tweaks to improve the products in every case. So I would just go fast through some of the products, and we'll come back to the newer stuff, the latest and greatest after the break. But just so that you see the portfolio that we have.
I think one thing we can add, one thing we can add here, because you have added in here Android. Just for your information for everyone here on the call, we are beginning on Android version 2, and has developed from Android version 2, and today we are already delivering devices with Android 11. I think that's a very proven story for we are really has been on the Android track from the beginning. So we've been there from the beginning of Android, and we are there still. Yeah, nothing else.
Yeah, and we will continue to do that. And of course, Motorola back in the days, they took a bet on Android. They was not that sure that Microsoft was able to deliver the enterprise mobility version, and they didn't succeed in the consumer market and didn't get that expected volume. So they actually retired, and as of today, I don't think there are support for any of the operation systems from Microsoft, Jesper.
That's correct. Has been obsolete since 2015. Has been obsolete for Android, for Windows Mobile, for handheld computers.
Yeah. So when we look at the product family, so we have lots of products, but the common thing is that we try to build everything on the same platform. So it should be very familiarized for the users. There is the same interface and the same type of screen. And if you manage to stay on one operational system on every unit you have, it will be more or less the same for every user. Even if they go into a handheld like this one with a keyboard that also has a touch display, can be used in tough environments, into freezers, and into all kinds of weather. You can use them with gloves, you can use them with stylus, and the ergonomic thing is also taken care of. And then we have the portfolio with touch only. We go away from the buttons, where all the young people, they don't understand maybe how the keyboards are working. They are only used to using touch. So you have to take that in mind as well. Yeah, Jesper.
That's right. That's like the new culture. If you're looking on our portfolio, everyone the last 2 years has picked up more and more devices without physical buttons. We are just seeing more physical buttons in warehouse operations, but when we are getting into more retail or fashions, we are seeing people are using full touch devices, as Ivo is showing here on the picture, technical with no physical button, only the scan buttons and push to talk buttons. Yeah.
So this is a portfolio of touch computers, all the way from a 3-inch EC30 you can see here up to the 5-inch series we have, and also mentioned that we have the PS20, also the self scanner, the personal shopper. That is actually the only product we have that are made for consumers. So that is the consumers going into a grocery store and scanning their own groceries, putting it directly into the bags. And have some kind of a payment solutions, maybe in the self-checkout or maybe automatic through the mobile devices. So many solutions. And also in this family, we have the wearables for picking. People like to pick with 2 hands. They like to use the ring scanner. They can use the VT6000 you see here on their hand. So have the both hands free, the scan with the ring scanner, or maybe they also use head-up display, like you see on the glasses here. That also is a new opportunity that has come up in the last years.
Yeah, that's technical. The new way of hand-free picking. In the old days, people was using a lot of voice picking, but now we are turning it into a head-up display. So you're getting your picking order through the display, as the head-up display in front of you, and at the same time you're using one of the scanners you're seeing down the bottom, one of the finger scanners sitting directly on your hand. To scan the items if you need it. So that's very easy operation, and it's much faster comparing to voice picking when you're using a small display to getting your information around the picking. That's a solution we already have today, and we're already delivering it today. And we also have a software platform for managing it.
Yeah, so we have APIs that are very easy to use for existing VMS systems, for example. So if anyone is interested in that, just reach out to Edico and we can give you a demo of that.
Ivo, I think your mic, you need to take your mic a little down. It's breaking up a little there. Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I have to go. I think I took a short lie. We have one more product made for consumers. so the kiosks. Someone might be familiar with this. This is just to have a communication with customers. That could be that they are coming to the stores to use the self-scanning, for example, and then they log in using some kind of a loyalty card, and then they get access to the self-scanner. Or this could be just in the store, driving commercials, driving communications, and I think also we will see that afterwards, talking about the communication platform, that this can also be used to communicate direct between staff and customers as well. So this is our kiosks, a 5-inch kiosk and also a 10-inch kiosk.
I could add one thing. We have also seen some retailers that's beginning to use this as a self-checkout. So with no skill, only as a display for scanning your items and doing your payment. That's also something is beginning to come up more and more, especially here in Europe.
So and this will also come on in portrait mode. So this is in landscape, but it can also be standing up. Yeah. Short also look into the tablet side. So a couple of years ago, we acquired a company called Explore, and they are now fully onboarded into Zebra with into the Android platform, but we also have a Windows options as well. So we will come back to a newer platform also later today when we talk about the new products that have come in. But we have a full family of tablets. The ultra rugged one that can take at least almost everything. You can throw it in the ground. You can drive over them, so to say. And you can use it. Yeah, multi-grade. You can use it outdoor in the winter, in snow. We also even tested this with saltwater environment with the fishing industry here in Norway, and that also works quite good. So a broad portfolio also there. And we also see, I can mention that we see a lot of customers starting to use tablets as forklift terminals, giving them a bit more flexibility. But of course, we still have the forklift terminals in our portfolio because that is needed for some customers as well. But in lighter environments, it might be that tablets can also be an option.
There's one of the benefits sometimes for a forklift truck. Some forklift trucks maybe do not have any wiring for the powering. There, the tablet can be pretty nice because it's very easy to fit in a tablet without doing any wiring. And also, as you were saying, it's also having, in some cases, a cheaper or more cost-effective solution for using a tablet compared to the truck pieces.
Yeah, but we still have the truck pieces, and they are very popular in some environments. If, for example, have going into freezers, for example, then maybe this is needed. You maybe need a heated keyboard and so on. So we got all those solutions as well.
Yeah.
And especially one thing also that is very important for enterprise products is that you have the right accessories. So you have all the accessories you needed to give your employees the best ergonomic things, but also you have the batteries, spare batteries, the cradles to charge them, and so on. And so we have all those things together.
Cradles for trucks,
yeah. So just to summarize, so we are very focused on have familiar interfaces using the several Android solutions that are very user-friendly and familiar to workers. They are maybe using Android, or they could be iPhone as well. It's more or less the same interfaces, so people are used to working on it. And they are rugged, so they withstand searing heat, pouring rain, freezing cold, and accidental jobs. And also, we have a mature set of intelligent software that provides you extra capabilities, and we will look a bit more into that now, because I think that is one of the main reasons our success in the enterprise mobility. Jesper, that is the mobility DNA part.
That's right.
Yeah. So what is mobility DNA, Jesper?
Yeah, mobility and the DNA. When we were beginning on the road of Android, we were figuring out as a company there was a lot of functionality that was not available in Android in the beginning. And for us, was it easy? We need to support our partners and end customers with the right solution. So we're beginning to build up our mobility DNA. So the mobility DNA today is a toolbox of different kind of tools we are doing available on Android platform. So it's not just because we're using a different Android, it's more we are adding new functionalities that may be not available yet in Android. So if you put it into like 4 groups as on the picture here, we have the management tools. So this is the way how to onboard your mobile devices. So if you do not have any MDM device management system, that's most common for most customers, you can use our Stage Now. Stage Now is like a free tool to onboard your devices. So that's what that meaning. You can easily load your application, load your configuration, setting up the device first time. That could just be straight out of the box, reading a barcode, loaded into your network, and now ready to use. So you do not need to sit in and figure around with the hardware. It's a free tool, so that's easy. It's a lightweight MDM tool only for unrolling your devices into the system. That's like one of the tools we have available. Another tool that's always has been normal present on our mobile computer portfolio have been Enterprise Home Screen. Enterprise Home Screen is technically a lockdown screen. Somebody's called it a kiosk mode. This is a normal functionality for an MDM solution, but if you do not have any MDM solution, we also have the same solution for free of charge on our devices to lock down, so only the application you're going to use is available for you. And I can pick on one more here on the same topic in the same area, and either you can just also pick out if there's something we should go more deeper with. But 2 other areas I think is very important here is our power persistent console. For many years, people do not know when they need to replace the batteries on the mobile computers. When is it tired up? When it's not performing as it should? So what we can do here, we have an offering where we have a platform where we're reporting in the battery conditions. How are the battery discharging and charging? And out from there, we can set a notification to the user to change the battery, or to the IT department to the battery need to be replaced. So that's helping us to hold the devices up and running. Battery is like tire on a car. It will be vanished out after like 2 years. So you need to know when you need to replace the battery in the mobile computers.
And that's a great tool, because then they get access to a dashboard where they have.
Yeah, that's right. And this is not information you're normally getting out of an MDM platform. This is additional on top of an MDM platform. Also, if you're just taking one more in the same area, the management tools, that's the worry-free Wi-Fi. It's a tough wording, but that's meaning Wi-Fi with no issues. Everyone normally, in some cases, have some issues with Wi-Fi. Could be there's too many APs in the area. Could also just be there's some interference. So normally you're getting somebody out on site and looking after the issues. We have chosen to make a small application running on our devices to scan for these things and can report these things in. So it's very easy for the IT department to find out if you have Wi-Fi issues, where to look after it, and where to maybe change small changes in the configuration. So this is something is already included in our product today.
I can see that worry-free Wi-Fi, that has saved a lot of customers a lot of time, and time is money, because we've been in many discussions with Wi-Fi vendors that are pointing at us and we are pointing at them. But this actually helps to find out what's the root cause before they get into this discussion. So that's very good solutions. So this is also an overview. So most of these are preloaded on. Some of this is preloaded on the terminals. Some of them is free for download, and some of them also has a fee.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's one more topic before we're going to Lifeguard. I will just mention that's our mobility extensions, what we call MX. A lot of people know there's very restricted things you can do on an Android platform. It's like settings, but we have worked that around with building our MX features. So that's meaning technical way back for Android version 2, we have already have possibility to do multi-users account on our devices. This is a feature is already today is integrated into Android 11, but we have done it way before. That's the same on our MX features. We have multiple settings we can do, like disable the USB port on a device, get the device to be longer time waked up in what is possible in Android. So we can, let us say, need to be wake up in 1 hour. That's not possible. It's normal maximum half an hour. But all these settings are in our MX settings on our devices. So you can tweak the device after your needs in the installation you do.
Yeah, so we see now that Google is actually starting to embedding some of these features, and I think that is very good as well. So we have this kind of functionality. They have already started with zero touch. So they are coming into the enterprise as well, and I think we have helped them a lot to understand this. So
I'm agreeing. They're also using barcode for onboarding devices, as we have done for many years. That's right.
So when we're talking about mobility, we need to address security as well.
Yes, I agree, 100%. Ivo.
So what is the number one concern talking about security?
Yeah, I think if you turn it around a little, maybe because when people are talking about security, people is normally talking about patching. So how often are you patching your Windows PCs, laptops? And most of everyone is patching your PC every week because there's new patching coming out from Microsoft. That's pretty common. But how are we doing on Android? If you're looking into the Android market today, the normal scheduling is half-yearly patching if you are Android recommended devices. As Zebra, we have found out that's not good enough for end customers and partners. We need to give it the opportunity to patch your device more often. There is normal vulnerability more often coming out in a half-yearly, because you will have a big hole in a half year, and maybe you're never going to patch it. But that's a different story. So what we are doing here to prevent this, we are adding Android for Lifeguard. So Lifeguard for Android, sorry, opposite way. So what we are doing, we are making a package every month for all our devices to patch and security patching our devices. So that's for all vulnerabilities that's out there, known vulnerabilities we are patching. But at the same time, we are also patching our hardware drivers if needed. We are doing small changes to our OS if needed. That's not written on only security level. So that means if you're buying a Zebra device, you can patch your device every month. The day the device is up to lead, / the OS is up to lead on the hardware, we are still patching 2 years ahead. So you can easily have a Zebra device where the OS cannot be patching higher, but we are still security patching backward on the device. So that will help you to secure your device will be patched in the full life cycle of your device, as Ivo have changed here to the picture of how we are dividing our mobile devices into 3 groups. So we have, you want to mention that 3 groups, Ivo, maybe?
Yeah, so this is, we have synchronized this actually with the life cycles of our devices. So when we are launching a new device, for example, a mid-tier device like TC57, we said that we will produce this for 4 years and then we will support it for 4 years. And including in that support is, for example, Lifeguard. And that meaning that you will can have this device for 8 years and be sure to have all the security patches needed. And also we will also support you on OS transitions as well. That is also very important.
That's
that
right.
Goes, yeah, and that if you only do the Google version, that is 3 years from the day they are launching the OS.
Yeah, and there's also a small other topics when we are looking into how Google is presenting. We are only patching what you call kernel and last released OS. That's meaning today Google is only patching Android 12 and 11, and 10 is already up to lead for the patching. We still have a lot of Android 10 devices and 9 devices out there. We still doing security patching for these devices for securing our customers. Are going to be secure on the installation they already have bought into.
Yeah, and the best of all, this is included in all service contracts. So if you have a full comprehensive contract or just a software support, doesn't matter. This is included. So yeah, so that's very good.
The last piece around the Lifeguard is something you choose on your own when you want to update it, and you're doing it through your MDM system. So you are in full control as a customer.
So just to sum it up, the mobile computers, like I said in the beginning, is a big area for us, and often where customers start doing business with us before they go into other areas as well. And when you have mobile computers, it's easy to start using other products from us as well. And also the last years, we are starting also to invest more into solutions. And now we're going to present what we call Workforce Connect. So with me today, I have Nadine. She is calling in from Germany. So we have a wide team with us today. Hello. So
I just switched on my camera to say hello to everybody, but due to bad bandwidth in Germany, I will switch it off again. I just wanted to show I'm here as well for you.
That's good, Nadine. So you just tell me when to switch the slides, okay?
Yeah, perfect. You can already start with the first slide. I think we can go on. So a bit about the idea why Zebra came up with a communication called Workforce Connect. So we saw, as Ivo and Jesper presented, our mobile devices being in the hands of all these workers. So it might be the warehouse workers, it might be the nurse in a hospital, or the store workers in retail. And we did a study back in 2019 together with Harvard Business Review and found out that 86% of these workers still see they are not perfectly equipped with the technology. And that doesn't go into the hardware. What they were missing and where they saw still some area for improvement was mentioned 2 points. So it was about collaboration. They were missing the easiness to have a chat with each other, to get some information being transferred to their colleagues. And by that gap of collaboration, there was also an inefficiency in operations, because if you can't get aligned on what you're doing, it's way harder to work together. And if we skip to the next slide, the solution we brought up to solve exactly that topics we saw in that study was or is Workforce Connect, which is our intelligent communication and collaboration solution. So the target of Workforce Connect is exactly what I just mentioned, to connect and inform and empower these frontline workers. Once to be better in internal efficiency, so to increase their productivity, but as well to enhance the customer experience, because I think in most of the companies we are working for our customers or patients if we look to healthcare, but it's always someone who can get the results of us being able to work in a better way and communicate. So if we are looking to the right side, this shows what Workforce Connect is all about. Just in an overview, I will get into this a bit later in more details. So what comes with Workforce Connect is for sure communication. And there are 2 ways of communicating which Workforce Connect brings in. One solution is what we call voice. This means the integration of a separate device to your existing phone system. So you can use your separate device as a telephone, like you had a DECT phone probably before, dial a number, get a call from outside and reach out to people by classic telephony. The other approach we are taking is what we call push to talk. So it's about group communication. By a call like a walkie-talkie, you push a button and call your colleagues, one-to-one or one-to-many, or also you can send text messages. So this is quite a broad solution for internal communication. Also, we have the possibility to connect to external channels, and that goes already in the next part of the interfaces we are offering with Workforce Connect. So this is really an enterprise solution for communication, and what we know, what's the most important is integration. So integrate to your existing business application, maybe connect to an external walkie-talkie system you already have in use. Or also one important point is the integration for authentication. So a lot of customers already have shared devices in use where you can log in when you start working in a shift in the morning by your name, by your PIN code, by an RFID card maybe. And all this can be used for Workforce Connect as well. So you can log on to a mobile device and everything sets up with your Workforce Connect profile in the background. The third part of Workforce Connect is collaboration. That is a lot about locating your co-workers, locating assets, finding things easily, and by that working more efficient, or by sending over tasks to each other, checking if someone helped you. For example, I'm sending a note to Ivo saying, hey, could you please set up that meeting for next week? I get the response, he marked it, check, I have done. And that makes it really easy to work with each other. So next, Ivo. If we are looking a bit more in what we see in use cases, it's really interesting, and I didn't want to take that too long, but if we are looking to current pilots and projects we have out there, it's always interesting to see that most customers come back with even more use cases than we have thought before. So I think in retail, one of the most important cases we have currently is communication. Because communication, and especially communication also with your customers, can be so important. And by the whole COVID situation, it became a bit tricky, let's say. People start not being so social and want to be face to face. people start shopping online, and also in the stores. It's good to keep the people away from each other, just for their health security. So we just developed a pilot solution we have running together with a kiosk. I think Ivo just presented the CC6000 we have there, and it's hung up in front of a store. So a customer enters the stores, sees that push button, can push the button and can directly talk to the employees in the store by their mobile devices. The same thing could be thought in healthcare. So you could have a patient information system. Or if it's just for internal, if a nurse needs a doctor warrant urgently, she can call that directly from their mobile computer they are working with and be connected to each other, instead of running to an office, looking for a phone, grabbing that phone, dialing a number and trying to reach out to anybody. In transport logistics, or also in the manufacturing area, it becomes more important to communicate, because there a lot is going about speed. A lot is about just-in-time delivery. If something goes wrong, you need to get feedback. If a truck arrives and you don't have the right workers there, you need to find someone to support you on unloading that truck very fast. And that's what Workforce Connect can support you on working with. Next slide, please. So if we are looking to the benefits Workforce Connect can bring, I would say the main point is about the collaboration. So you can have an easy ad hoc communication or an ad hoc chat with your coworkers. You can send something to a full group. So for example, you could send it to everybody on the dock doors and ask who's available and could help me come over and check with me. A second point is the engagement, and the engagement goes a bit internally. It's sometimes hard to stay connected from a central office to your front line, to your workers in the warehouse, to your workers in the stores. So Workforce Connect offers a nice possibility to send messages to every device you have out in the field. Also, you might add a video. So we have a customer, the CIO is recording a video, sends it out to all the workers to motivate them, to give them a bit about the strategy, to help them to find the right approaches, and also to give them a safe feeling about the future of the company. One main point, surely, especially in retail, is the customer service. As I mentioned, it's a lot about communication. Also, we saw phone calling became more and more important, because people couldn't go to the stores in the past lockdowns we had. So people started calling the stores. So it's very helpful if you can route that external calls directly to the workers, who can pick up the order of the customer, prepare it, and then can be fulfilled by pick and collect. Another aspect is locating people. Imagine how many time your workers might spend looking for someone. Might be the manager to ask him something, might be something easy like the cleaning wagon in a retail or in a hospital. It's easy if you can ask your colleague, did you see that? Where is it based? And also the same about task operations. Sending something over to Ivo, asking, could you do that? Getting the feedback, yes, I've done that. Makes it way easier for me instead of trying to call and to talk to him. And also Workforce Connect is providing a really interesting analytics insight if you want to see how your responses are, for example, or if you want to track trips of your drivers, what they are doing. So there are also a lot of possibilities. Next slide, please. If we're talking about Workforce Connect, it's important, it's one solution name, but it means different ways of communication. So there are two applications within Workforce Connect, which should be looked really as two different applications within this. We have Workforce Connect Voice here on the left side. Workforce Connect is the possibility to integrate your Zebra device to your existing phone system. So one more slide, Ivo, please. That means if you already have a separate device in use, or you're looking to buy a separate device, and you have one of our supported PBX systems in use, which are mainly Cisco, Avaya, Mitel, Asterisk, and Alcatel since this year. So if you have one of these PBX systems in use, and on the other side you have a separate device, we can help you to bring your phone calls on the Zebra device. And if you click one more, what does that mean? So more or less, you're making your Zebra device your telephone. The functionality is coming from your existing telephone system. And what you get from Zebra by using Workforce Connect Voice is what you can see here on the left side. It's an interface. It's an interface that shows exactly the functionalities you have in your phone system. So you can dial a number, or you can have, as you can see it here, a phone book where you can directly call your next coworkers. You can pick up calls, you can forward calls, you can do ad hoc conferencing. You can do all the functions your phone system is already providing. And we just bring it by Workforce Connect Voice on your Zebra device. One important thing we need is a good Wi-Fi connection that is optimized for voice, because the connection is built from the mobile device to the PBX system you already have installed by the Wi-Fi system. So it's really important that this is checked, maybe also checked by our other solutions, and we make sure by a test if this can run really good. But then you can get rid of your additional DECT phones you might have in place, because we can bring your telephony on our Zebra devices as well. The next slide, please. So we see voice as the important solution if you have to communicate externally. So if you have to receive external calls from suppliers, or from people you're working with, or from customers. But if the main need of communication is internally, the solution we would offer you is Push-to-Talk Pro, which you can see here on the right side. It's an enterprise push-to-talk and messaging and location solution. And if you click one next, the nice advantage of Push-to-Talk Pro is we are absolutely platform independent. That means we can support you with Workforce Connect Push-to-Talk Pro on any Android device, on Apple devices as well. That might be interesting, especially, for example, in an environment where the workers have a mobile device, but the managers have an iPhone in use. But you can connect the workers and the managers on the same application. And as well, the application is available for Windows Desktop. So you can have them for people being, for example, in dispatch operations in the warehouse or in the IT department, running on the laptop as well, and give them the possibility to connect to the frontline workers by their mobile devices as well. Next slide, please. Push-to-Talk Pro runs on Wi-Fi, so you can use it indoor with a Wi-Fi. But the nice advantage, you can also use it on the road, or if you're outside, or if you're walking between several buildings of your company. No problem, because it can also run by a data SIM card added to the device and connect over cellular data as well. The moment you're connected, you have the possibility, like you might know from a walkie-talkie, to push the button and to talk to someone. But there's one approach of talking one-to-one. So I could directly select Jesper and push the button and call, Jesper, can you help me? He says, yes, sure, I'm here. But what if I don't reach out to him? So I might not only call Jesper, I might call his whole team of technical experts. And I might, hey, from the technical expert team, who could help me? And it doesn't matter who's available. The ones who hears the question the first time can directly answer. And that is the most important thing when we run Push-to-Talk Pro with a customer, and we start mostly in pilot phases. People find out how that can help their work if they don't need to call one by one to find out who's available to help. If they can call a whole team and ask, is someone there who can help me, and can directly get a response, yes, I'm here, I will be with you in 5 minutes. And this is also the solution we use in retail when we use the kiosks. So the customer is calling in the background a group of workers and is asking, I'm standing in front of your store, I need help on the electronic devices. And the worker who knows about electronic devices can answer by Push-to-Talk Pro and say, I will be with you, dear customer, give me 2 minutes and I pick you up at the entrance. But also you can select specific workers. So for example, if you have delivery drivers out there and you want to reach out who's next to do an urgent delivery, you just can pick a specific part of the group and ask them if they are available or ask them for help. Next slide, please. Also, what do you do if something happens which is unexpected? A machine might break, something is not where it should be, a package might be damaged. If you click once more, it can help a lot if you just can take an easy text or image message and send it over. So sometimes it's, especially with having an image attached to it, it's way easier to communicate by pictures than trying to describe in words. Next, please. So if we are looking to what we just saw and what push-to-talk can bring to you. So it's about all these push-to-talk application and possibilities. And you can see here on the right that blue push button, which is really important because it's easy to push. You can use the separate buttons to push that button, and then you can start your communication, and it goes ad hoc to the people you're talking to. But you also can do broadcast audio. So that goes a bit to what I told you about the CIO sending a message out to his full team. You can send out messages for sure only for allowed people. So not everybody could talk to everybody in the company. We define before we set up the system live who is allowed to do what. But you could reach out to your full workers and make sure everybody knows, for example, about a callback, or if you want to run an IT update and you need to make sure every device is charged, you can reach out to everybody. You have the possibility to set presence, so you can put yourself on Do Not Disturb. You can send all these messages I've described. You can integrate, and that's an interesting point. If you already have a specific group of workers who run on two-way radios, you can integrate these two-way radios to be connected to Workforce Connect as well. One more thing I think that can improve business in a lot of cases is the location solution. And if you move one more, Ivo, we can see it a bit bigger. I think that makes it easier. So you see here a screenshot from the display, from the dispatch client on a PC. But this map you can have on the mobile client the same. So you can track people by their GPS location, which might be interesting, exactly like I mentioned for drivers, for example. But also we can work with an indoor location solution. So we can use your existing access points to track the people, to make sure who is somewhere. I mean, I must be honest, we don't measure it down to centimeters or probably down to 1 meter. But I always say, if you know someone is around 5 meters to you, I think you should be able to see another person. If there is not 5 walls between you and the other person. So we can build up, like you see on the picture on the right below, your floor plan and help you to track the people. Another solution is also, normally we only track the current situation. So we only do ad hoc tracking. But if it's needed, and we had that request coming from a customer, we also can track the routes, for example, the drivers went. And we had that case coming to track the mileage people take because it was invoiced from a third-party company. And so Workforce Connect could also be used to track the routes people have taken. Next slide, please. One partnership I would like to mention, because it really can enhance the experience how to use Push-to-Talk Pro, is our collaboration together with Blue Parrot and providing headsets. So as I mentioned, you have to push that blue button, or here it's gray, but you have to push that button to talk to each other. You can push a button on a separate device, but also it might be you're working with your hands, as Jesper and Ivo mentioned, because you have to carry packages, or maybe you're taking care of a patient, and then you can't pull out your device just to push that button to answer. That's why we cooperate with Blue Parrot and made it possible to use their headset, which makes it easier from a noise cancelling perspective in case of speaking and listening. But also you can use the buttons on the headset, which means you just need to reach out 1 second to your ear instead of pulling out the device, and can answer or start a call or send a message via voice command. So all this very easy without taking the device in your hand. Next slide, please. One last thing I wanted to mention, because I think this is one of the most important thing we should take care is the security. So it's really important. We have seen with a lot of customers, they are using non-enterprise applications. So they are using consumer applications like, for example, WhatsApp or other chat solutions. But always have in mind, if you use that for your company, this is not a closed infrastructure. So what we provide means you have one infrastructure only for your workers. So it cannot be that suddenly someone sends a message to his wife or by accident sends some important customer information to someone external. The whole Push-to-Talk Pro system is running as a multi-tenant system on the Azure cloud based in the Netherlands. So we are fully GDPR conform and can provide all the data needed on that. Everything is built around security of your data. You control your data. You can say whenever it should be deleted. You can record messages, but you also can delete it directly. You make sure where your data goes. And it's always encrypted. And I think these points should be, I would say, if it comes to communication where you share a lot of confidential information, the most important thing to take care of. Next. So this was my presentation on Workforce Connect. If anything is needed, I'm here to help. Edico as well is goodly trained on Workforce Connect and knows how to help you with this. So we are happy. If you're interested to support you, you're always free to try it, and we help you to run a pilot on the solution. So Ivo, that was me. Back to you.
Thank you, Nadine. And then we are at the coffee break. So let's take 10 minutes, check the email, answer the phone, and fill up the coffee cup. And then we will be back. That will be, I think we start back in 8 minutes. Okay?
1:10.
Yeah, not 1:10 in Iceland, but
that's right.
Yeah.
Hey, Ivo, did you get my slides?
Yeah, I think so.
Shall we do it the way everybody else did? You run it and I tell you next slide?
Yeah.
Okay, that I think simplifies it.
Yes.
So
okay.
in 7 minutes then.
So, hello again.
Hello again.
So,
coffee in the glass.
Yes. So, Greta, are you with us?
Yes.
Yes, that's good. So I think we are ready to start the second part now. And we're heading back to Germany, I guess, to our friend Daniel. So Daniel, welcome. You are on mute.
That's right. No more.
No more. So the stage is yours.
Okay, greetings from Germany. We were just talking a little bit beforehand. It's 27 degrees here, just to make you a little bit jealous, but that ends tonight. It's going to be cold and rainy for the rest of the week. So I have the pleasure to talk with you a little bit about what is the best strategy to improve your efficiency and your technology in the warehouse. So that's why my presentation is called Modernize Your Warehouse. If you click, please, Ivo. Let's have a quick look what's going on in the industry. So this is my 5V slide, the velocity, volume, variety, visibility, and value. Basically what it is, we've seen in the last 1.5 years, as the pandemic is challenging all of us, quite some changes. And that drives various needs in warehouses. And that's what we're going to talk about it today. So velocity, of course, for all is really, really important. If you're ordering something, in the past, you were really expecting to have, well, next day delivery, latest 2 days delivery. In the very early days of e-commerce shopping, it was good enough if it would arrive. Well, you order on a Monday, it comes on Friday, that's good enough. But then, well, thank you, Amazon and Walmart and a couple of other key players, they changed to next day delivery. That has gone away in the pandemic or in the beginning of the pandemic. And the reason for that is warehouses were really operating at maximum capacity. We saw an exponential growth of e-commerce orders. And all the warehouses and the logistics companies and the courier companies were completely maxed out. In the past, they had peak seasons, and peak season was like the time after Black Friday or an Asia Pacific Singles Day or Cyber Week in Europe. And then, of course, the time before Christmas, for example. If you talk to them now, they say every day feels like it's 2 weeks to Christmas. We're so very busy. Which means, well, the volume is going up as well. So they have more orders to ship and more orders to handle. And the variety has gone down. In business to business orders, of course, you're ordering large numbers of the same items. With the huge amount of consumer orders, lots of single items. If I look at my family, I order things, my kids, my wife, everybody independently, and then you're getting like 3 deliveries per day and 3 different deliveries from 3 different delivery drivers as well. So it's a little bit of a mess. Still, visibility is very important. If you want to keep this promise to deliver to your customer next day or in 2 days, you need to make sure the product that you're shipping is very close to the customer. So customer proximity is important. Zebra did a warehouse vision study 1.5, almost 2 years ago in late 2019. And we were asking our customers and partners in Europe and in North America how they feel about their warehouse operations. And we asked a multitude of questions. And one of the questions was, so looking at 2019, so those days, and then 5 years into the future, which would mean 2024, how do you expect warehouses to grow? And the answer was, we're expecting to have almost 25% more warehouses in 2024. And also the floor space is going to be bigger. These warehouses will be bigger up to 30%. So more warehouses and bigger warehouses, which translates as well into more workers that you need. We'll come to that in a second. Now, you need to have visibility through all your warehouses, not just the one you're working in. So this visibility is absolutely key if you want to deliver to your customers. The other side of the coin is, as a consumer, when I'm ordering, I'd like to know when is it arriving. Can I get an advanced shipping notice? Can I redirect it? Can I have a communication with them? Maybe through a portal, just saying, oh, I had a last minute urgency call, go to the office, I won't be there, come tomorrow, or leave it with my neighbor, or put it in the garden, or send it to my office, whatever. Some companies are specialized on really doing that. And the other big one is value, of course. And the biggest challenge in value for e-commerce companies is reverse logistics. And we see, for example, in fashion industry or e-commerce shopping for fashion, almost 50% of all items that have been ordered go back. Well, it's very simple. The return label is already in the box. You're ordering a pair of jeans. Maybe through the pandemic, you're not sure if you gained a little bit of weight, and you're not sure which size to order. Maybe you order 2 sizes and you keep the one you like, and then it goes back. For me as a consumer, that's easy and very convenient. For the logistics company and the process, that's not easy, because it needs to be received at the post office, then transported to the distribution center, to the hub. That needs to be received, needs to be checked and inspected. Is it good? Anything wrong with it? Can you go back to A sales? Maybe there's another customer who is waiting exactly for this very last pair of jeans that we have in stock. Can I redirect it immediately? Do I need to reimburse Daniel because he's already paid, and so on? So you see, that's quite a bit of action here. 50% of those new warehouses being built, almost 50%, will contribute to reverse logistics management. So companies are building warehouses specifically for reverse logistics to handle that. And we see quite a bit of outsourcing of these processes in the industry as well. So the challenges you see down there, for example, it's another big challenge. There is a shortage of labor in the market. It's not so very easy to find enough workers. As I said before, more warehouses and bigger warehouses, which means you need to have more people, more workers, more devices, more technology, and so on. And then also getting these people up to speed. If you're onboarding new staff, training them is absolutely critical. In this warehouse vision study, by the way, this warehouse vision study is of course publicly available. If you would like to have a look at that, let us know. We're more than happy to point you at the download site at zebra.com or talk to our channel managers, and we will send it to you immediately. So we asked, how long does it take you to onboard somebody to be fully productive in the warehouse? And the shocking answer was 4.5 weeks. More than a month. I'll give you a couple of ideas how to bring that down in some time. Furthermore, I'm working at maximum capacity. I need to ship more orders. I need to be really fast. I don't have enough workers. How do I handle that? And part of the answer is, of course, technology. And part of that technology will be intelligent automation. So we will see more robots and cobots assisting the workers in the warehouse. Let's have a closer look at that. Click, please. So as I was saying, let's have a look at picking specifically. So picking is very labor intensive in the warehouse. Almost 50% of all warehouse activities is picking. And then what we see as well is a high turnover of staff. And we talked about training being really, really difficult. And if you're operating in peak season, you may order temporary workers, which is another major cost factor. So you see lots of challenges and lots of things making the life really, really difficult. Let's have a look how we answer that problem. Next slide, please. So let's have a look at this radar screen. So what we're doing in warehouse, we want to understand what's going on. In order to do that, we need to collect data. So sensing data, maybe reading a barcode. In some cases, it's still pen and paper. In some cases, it might be any kind of sensors. So we're collecting data, that's sense. And then what we need to do, we need to translate these data into a meaningful business context. It must mean something to me. What's going on with my process? Am I delivering on time? Do I have enough inventory? Is the conveyor belt working well? Are all the workers busy, and so on? And once I have all this information, or does the truck need to leave immediately in order to meet his delivery proposal? Then I can act upon that. I can take action if something goes wrong. So sense, analyze, act. That's what we're doing. And if you follow Zebra for a while, you might have heard that already, because this is really what we're talking for quite a while. By the way, this is Internet of Things, capturing data, analyzing these data, putting them into meaningful context, and creating new action. Let's go into more detail. Next slide, please. Here's my radar screen again. So one click, please. So what we see here is these 5 phases, and I want to walk you through these 5 phases. Let's start with phase 1. phase one is starting to read barcodes and to use barcodes in your warehouse. And companies who are starting with that usually do incoming goods and outgoing goods. One click, please. So these are kind of devices you can use for that. So just imagine a truck is arriving at the dock door, you open the doors, and then you're unloading, and then a worker needs to take a scanner or a handheld and go there and physically scan the barcode of the pallet or of the boxes of the single items. We call that worker-driven, no click please, worker-driven transactional data. So because we have a worker taking action here, doing something physically. What you see as well, the little picture above the handheld terminals, that are our new intelligent cabinets. So we now have introduced very recently large cabinets to store and monitor all the devices in your warehouse. They can be locked. We're monitoring the charging status. We can see which worker took which device, when did it return, which one is not working, and so on. And we also have a opportunity now to add ultraviolet light into this cabinet. So that means that you can sterilize these devices. Ultraviolet UVC light will kill 99.95% of all bacteria on the surface of these devices. And especially these days, that's really important. So we have now in phase one enabled the individual worker. Now we want to optimize the use of mobility. And now I need to click. So what we're doing now, we're enhancing the technology. We're saying, maybe we're going away from a handheld terminal that the worker is carrying in his hand all the time. Now we have a wearable terminal, something you wear on your arm or maybe on your belt and giving you information. And maybe you will also adding heads-up displays. As you can see here, this is Zebra's HD 4000. I'll give you a little bit more insight about that in a couple of minutes, how that really works. In addition, for example, here in phase two, Workforce Connect plays an important role because now we're also enabling work groups to be more efficient. What you heard from Nadine a minute ago. So, okay, so we made our way through phase one and phase two. Now we're going to phase three. One click, please. In phase three, we're starting to add sensors. You may click once again, Ivo. In phase three, we're adding sensors. For example, RFID. That could be one sensor. So rather than a worker stepping up to the pallet, taking the scanner, pulling the trigger to read the barcode, now we're pushing the pallet through a gate. The gate is equipped with antennas, RFID antennas and readers, and automatically all the RFID tags will be read once it's moved through the gate. And then these data are moved immediately to the backend system. In most cases, that will be a WMS system, or it could be an ERP system or a TMS system, whatever you're using. So we call that now sensor-driven real-time data, because a sensor is capturing these data, and you have them available in real time in your WMS. The other example, what you see on this little screen of the tablet, that is a solution where we're using cameras. We're using cameras to observe the loading or unloading process of trucks. We call that Smart Pack Trailer. So that's more or less trailer load analytics. That's a big story in itself. Just to mention, it's not just RFID, it can be any kind of sensors. So now we know things are in the warehouse. Maybe it's important to know where in the warehouse are they? Are they moving, or where are they located? We will go to stage 4 and then one click. So stage 4, we're adding locationing solutions, real-time locationing solutions, RTLS. We can see the movement of goods. Maybe you want to follow the forklift where he's driving. The forklift is picking up a pallet, so you know what he's carrying and you know where the shipment needs number 13. And you can follow his route. And all of a sudden you see, he didn't read the 3, he thought it was an 8, he's going to Dr. 18, so he's wrong. So you're capturing the data, you're sensing the data, you know where he is, you know where he's going, you know where he should go, and you see he's doing something wrong. Now you can take an action. The system automatically can say, you passed Dr. 13, you're too far, check, go back and do that, for example. Or locate any pallet or any object in the warehouse. We can go down to an accuracy of below 1 meter. By the way, in all 3 dimensions, X, Y, Z in the warehouse. So if you're looking for a pallet, and we know that happens quite often, that you're looking for something because it has been erroneously been misplaced, real-time location solutions can help you. So that is 4. Now let's go to 5. 5 is actually 2 things. The one thing is doing a tighter integration of lots of backend systems to your operations in the warehouse. Maybe you have a yard management system and you want to integrate these data as well. You want to see all the trucks on your yard. Where are they? Where are they parking? Are they ready to go to the right dock door and so on? Or maybe you want to integrate with your ERP system. You want to know this truck is fully loaded. You know there's a service level agreement. He needs to leave now because it's really important that he's arriving at the right point in time. And click again, please. The other option, the other thing is adding intelligent automation. So maybe having little robots assisting you. We see 2 different ones here. The upper one is from Fetch Robotics. This one is carrying a pallet and is moving the pallet from one end of the warehouse to its designated final location autonomously. This exists in different form factors and different sizes. The lower one is a little robot from Locus Robotics, and he will assist in picking. What we're doing now, we're changing the process of picking. Rather than the picker walking his way through the warehouse with endless miles every day, he's now stationary in one aisle, and the robot is coming to him carrying a little box and a tablet, and it's telling the worker what he needs to pick. So the worker looks at the tablet, he picks the item, scans it, puts it in the box, confirms, and the robot moves on. Let's move on as well with another slide, please. Okay, so here we see all the different solutions, how they play into it. You can see in phase 2, in the action area, you see Zebra Workforce Connect. And you see in the analytics space, Zebra Fulfillment Edge, which I will explain in a couple of minutes as well. We talked about very briefly about Smart Pick Trailer, which is observing the loading process. And Zebra also has a very, very powerful solution around yard management, which is Zebra MotionWorks Yard. And you see lots of other technologies in here. And then in phase 5, when we're integrating different backend systems, Zebra Data Services come to play. Next slide, Ivo. So where is the world today? One click. In 2019, when we did the survey, this is the answer. 2/3 of customers said we are in phase 1 and 2. And a few started doing some RFID, very little did RTLS, and even fewer did phase 5, so intelligent automation. In 2024, the prediction is, and another click, please. In 2024, customers are telling us they're moving forward. They're elevating their path through the maturity of technology and processes in the warehouse. Now the big chunk is in phase 3, phase 4, and phase 5. That's where we're going. Next slide, please. So all these phases have lots of more information. Of course, we don't have time to go through everything. I would force you to listen for another 2 hours to me. I don't want to do that. Just give you a couple of ideas. You heard already from Jesper and from Ivo about mobility DNA and the different technologies. This is what we're applying in phase 1, and we're having similar slides for all the other phases. Click once again. So here you see a little bit of support in other services Zebra is offering in this area. And another click, please. So what it is a journey through the warehouse with different phases. So it's doing an assessment and planning and understanding where you are. Maybe you're on phase 2 and you want to go to phase 3 or 4. Maybe you're on 3 and you want to go to 5, whatever that is. So we will doing this assessment. We will plan and work on pilots, do the integration, and then we will optimize and adopt, and of course, add additional management capabilities to do these things. So this is a journey, and it's a very individual journey. And the Zebra specialists and also our partners together with us will conduct these activities with you and take that route with you. If that is of interest, let us know. We're more than happy to work with you and go through these. I hope that is a little bit of a teaser for you, and I hope I get lots of responses, and we will see lots of warehouses elevating in the maturity in Iceland. Next slide. Real quick. because I'm running out of time, I believe. Let's briefly talk about Zebra Fulfillment Edge. This gentleman is wearing the heads-up display, and he's wearing a ring scanner. Next slide. So this is it. This is the heads-up display. Basically, what it is a piece of security glasses, and we're attaching an optical device to it. And this one here is a prism. And optionally, it can also have a little camera. You can see there's a cable next to it. So it will be connected via a USB cable to your terminal, maybe to the wearable, which previously you were wearing on your arm. Now you're wearing it on your belt or on your back. I will show you that in a second. The beauty of that is we don't need batteries in the device itself, because the power is coming through the USB cable from the terminal you're wearing on your belt. The computing power is in the terminal on your belt. So no heat is generated on your head. And there's no radio signals next to your head, because we don't need Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, because we have a cable connection. This enables us to have the weight of this little device with 29 grams. And by the way, you can move it from right eye to left eye, whatever is better for you. You probably know every human being has a dominant eye. Usually if you're right-handed, your dominant eye is the left one. That's as simple as it is. Next slide, please. So what we're doing is we're using Zebra Fulfillment Edge. That is a little repository which goes on top of your existing WMS. You don't need to make any change to your WMS. It stays as it is. We're just uploading the jobs for the day into Fulfillment Edge, and we're displaying all the job information into your line of sight. As simple as that. It's of course more complex, but we won't have enough time. Let's move on. Next slide. So what it does for us, it helps us improve the picking speed and the picking accuracy. We see from our custom implementations, in average, we're gaining 24% more productivity. We can do 24% more picks per day. And if you want to train a new worker on picking with a heads-up display, that takes you an hour and not 4 weeks. Let me show you how that works. Next slide, please. Click. One more. Okay, here's a little example. This is usually a video we're playing, but due to bandwidth issues in these online tools, I'm just giving you a screenshot. So this lady, she's a picker. She's doing that for the first time. She got a 30 minutes training. The terminal she's wearing is the little red spot in her back. That's where the terminal is. And you can see the cable which goes up to the heads-up display. Exactly. And then you see she has a little rubber band next to the glasses. What she's doing multi-order picking. She's picking 3 orders at the same time. Maybe the WMS cannot do that itself. That's not a problem. Fulfillment Edge is recognizing there are different orders from different customers with very similar products. I can group them and enable the worker automatically to do multi-order picking. So what she sees is this little rectangle, the yellow one. She's standing in front of bay R209. We tell her to go there, click once, and then we know where she is. And then Fulfillment Edge knows exactly how many boxes are there and how big are the boxes, and it's generating this graphical view. And all the storage locations she needs to pick from, they're yellow. And she can pick in whatever sequence she likes. Sorry. Pick from whatever storage location she likes first. She's choosing one, scans it, and then it turns green. When it turns green, we tell her you need to pick 4 items. And then she turns around, click. She turns around, and the terminal in her back has recognized she turned around, because we have sensors and gyroscopes in the terminal. And it's recognized she's no more facing the rack. She's now facing the boxes. And it tells her, you picked 4, we can still see that, put 2 in the middle box and 2 in the right box. As simple as that. It's really that simple and that easy. And you can customize that view as you like. Some customers tell us, we would like to have a picture of the product in here, deriving from the WMS. Fine, put it in there. not a problem. So now all of a sudden you can enable your workers to do a lot more, a lot faster with fewer training. And also the accuracy is going up big time. There are a couple of more use cases. One more click, please. Here we have some more use cases. The right-hand side, that's kind of a reverse model. We have product on a conveyor belt, which is on the front, and we have lots of pallets. And this gentleman needs to load the pallets for shipments to different destinations. So he's going to the conveyor belt, he scans one package, and then he turns around, and what he sees is, again, on the right-hand upper corner, he sees which pallet to put it on, which is the green one. He goes there, puts it there. There will be a barcode on the pallet or maybe on the floor. He scans it, and he gets the acknowledgement with the check mark. And then he goes back, scans the next one, and he gets the information where to put it. That can be pallets, it can be roll cages, it can be boxes, it can be whatever you need it to be. Completely flexible and easy. And the other one on the left-hand side, that is kind of sorting different products for shipment to a customer. In this specific case, that is garments, which are picked. You're picking the product, and then you turn around, and it tells you on this delivery cart with these 12 little boxes where to put. Put one in the top left corner, 4 below, and 2 on the middle right one. As simple as that. One more click, please. And then I'll be almost done. So this was an example so far. Fulfillment Edge is in phase 2, and maybe a little bit in phase 4 and 5. Coming to that as well. If you would like to have a look at that a little bit more closely, let us know. What we usually do, we come to your place, we take a look how you do your picking, and of course we explain a lot more than I just did, and then we could build a little offline demo for you. So give us like 20 picks you need to do, and we built an offline demo, and you can play around with that if you want to do a pilot. And the next stage would be we would do an integration to your backend system, so we can integrate to the major standard WMS systems in the market: Manhattan, Infor, SAP, Blue Yonder, Oracle, and so on. That's what it is. So now let's have a little look at intelligent automation. One click, please. So you saw already this little fetch robotics thing. This is something we're working very closely with. Fetch robotics is enabling the movement of objects in the warehouse with an autonomous moving vehicle. And by the way, this can be orchestrated with Fulfillment Edge as well. As we know where which worker is in the warehouse, because the worker needs to scan when he's arriving to a bay, we know where all the workers are, and we can organize that as well. We have a very close working relationship with Fetch. The other model, click once. The other model was locus robotics, and you see here now you have the worker stationary in an aisle. The robot is coming to him. He's looking at the tablet, reading what he needs to pick, picking it, scanning it, putting it in the box, confirming. The robot moves on. Once the robot is full, it's completed, it will go to the outbound area, and it goes into shipment. And then third click, sorry, another click. This is another one, +1 robotics. If you need to sort things or pallet or depalletize, this can be of big help. If we click one more, we can see how that compares to the current life. So on the very right-hand side, +1 robotics, you see this conveyor belt, and the lady is sorting all the boxes versus a robot arm doing that. And by the way, the clever thing is not the robot arm. The clever thing is the vision software, which is detecting the exact position of the object and then tells the robot arm how to move and grab it. And then you see in the middle, you see the example, a guy pushing the pallet through the warehouse versus a robot doing it. And then Locus Robotics, we talked about that. Zebra has a very close working relationship with all of these, and we have put significant venture capital in all 3 of these companies. And we're continuing to do so with other companies. For example, we're currently talking to a couple of drone companies to think about inventory management and so on. And also we have a very close working relationship with those companies. We're going jointly to market, as I was saying. Fulfillment Edge can orchestrate the movement of those robots as well, because we know where the workers are. We can tell the robot, go to this worker, because that's your next picking location and so on. With that, I'll end my 25 minutes. I overran 4 minutes. I'm sorry for that. And if there are any questions, more than happy to answer. And please come to Zebra and come to Edico so that we can work together.
Thanks a lot, Daniel. So you can still all use the Q&A functionality in the tool here. And also, if you have any questions to us later, please send them away or to Edico. So thanks a lot, Daniel. I'm learning every day also. So that's very valuable for us as well. Okay, so we are now on the agenda. But before we move on, I will just put out a poll. If you would like some more information about this, please reply now before we move on. So going into the next subject now, we're going to see what we've done lately with our hardware in all areas, both the printer, scanners, and mobile computing as well. So just give you a few more seconds to use the poll here. Yeah, I think that's fine, and you know where to find us if you want to ask later. So, the latest and greatest. Jesper, are you with me?
Yes, indeed. I'm on mute now.
That's good. That's good. I need a wingman, you know.
I'm always here.
That's good. So we will start with some news about the printer sides. So the thing is with printer, Zebra originally was the printer company and has been in the industry printing for 50 years, 52 years, I guess now. And we have a wide range of printers that suits every needs. So in the last years now, we have continuously improved them, I must say, both on the hardware side, most on the software side. So we have added
the same platform today, yeah.
Yeah, so we have added some operational system called LinkOS, for example. What can that do with our printers that we couldn't do before?
Yeah, now we have the LinkOS, as you have been mentioning here, on our printers. So we're getting a lot of new nice benefits. First of all, the same platform, so same language in all the printers, but we're also adding some new features like PDF print. We do not have some we have before on our printers. We're also getting the visibility through like the MDM system to see how many labels being printed out on the printer, so we can see the maintain of the printer and the printed information on the printers through our LinkOS. So that's the same platform.
So you're saying now that, for example, if you're using SOTI, then they can have insight and visibility into the printers as well?
Yes, we have a client that can connect to the printers through our LinkOS and getting the information from the printer. And the same, you can also getting the firmware information around the printer. So we can secure the printers is also updated and secured installed. So that's a huge advantage on our printers. Yeah.
So to summarize on the industry printers, we have enhanced the hardware, of course. We also looked at the user experience, so it's much easier to load labels into the printers as well. It's very intuitive, and there are arrows showing where to put things, and it's very easy to use. And also we have added on some printers, we added a color display, so it's easy to operate the printers right where you are. We don't need to go back to a computer or something if you need to take it right where you are. That can also give you alerts if something is wrong and so on. So, and we have a wide area of this, and it usually depends on how much you're printing and how critical it is in what kind of printers you have. So, but this is also in the DNA of Edico. So, challenge them on the printer side as well to find out what you need. Yeah. So if we move into the desktop, we have also been continuously improving that, and now we're also taking a next step in the desktop printers as well. So many of you probably know the GX series and also the GK series that's been with us for decades, it feels like. And they are still very, very popular. And we have tried actually to go end of life with some of the printers, but no, the customer says no. That's no, we need those printers. But we come to a place now that we don't have a choice anymore. So we're moving further now, and on the premium printers, the GX and the ZD, and also the 620, we are moving into a new family called 621. So we have some new features there. So we mentioned the print DNA. We also have some new security things, and also we're putting RFID functionality into this ZD621 as well. Yeah.
I also think we're very important to mention here. We also have the new solution has been there for a longer period, but our cartridge solution. So if you need to do thermal transfer, now we have a cartridge solution in our printer where you can, instead of adding the folio, you need to do the 2 rolls. Now we only have a cartridge you can add in, so it's very easy in the field for changing the cartridge for the thermal transfer printers.
And if any customers want to upgrade this, is it just plug and play? Can they use the same drivers and just
plug and play, the same language, the same driver kit we are using on our printers? So easy to reuse the new printers, but with new features if you want to enhance the features on the printer at the same time.
So this is the family now, and we have so strong belief in this that we actually extended the warranty as well. So now this comes with 2 years warranty start. So here we see the 621. We have the wristband printers that is especially a printer made for healthcare, printing wristbands. That also using a cartridge, by the way. Yeah.
But I think that's one area where we're also using the wristband printer. Yes, it's a healthcare wristband printer because the HC, but we're also seeing it's being used in the theme parks or areas where you need to have a theme wristband for the area.
Yeah, that's true. Also going into the mobile printers, we have added smarter technology just to reduce power consumptions with up to 30% actually. We also looked at the battery technology and we added sleep and wake up mode. We also added more roaming capabilities using in Wi-Fi networks, so it'd be easier to move around without looking for new access points.
We're also adding Bluetooth friendly for Wi-Fi, so we are securing we are not using the Wi-Fi channels that are very close to the mobile printer if you're using the Bluetooth part of the printer. We're also adding NFC for easily pairing. So if you have a mobile device that needs to print for one printer, the one day easily you can only tap on the side of the printer. Now will be paired with the printer with no interference going to application and connect things or pairing things.
Yeah, that's a very valuable point, and that is creating a lot of support we know from before the Bluetooth. I need to remove the old device and put in a new one. So that is the solution actually for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the printers, there are various configurations for these printers. If it's going to be used indoors, outdoors, whatever, talk to Edico and they will find the printers that are most suited for you as well. And we can't forget also, we have a wide family in the card printing area as well, for making access cards, using cards to open doors and that kind of parts, having cards for events. Yes, every needs actually you have both sides, laminated, RFID, MyFair.
There's also a small area you maybe not have mentioned here, Ivo. We have seen a huge special in here in the COVID time where you have need to add small card into the food. So when you are in a restaurant, you want to have this small blanket telling what kind of food are there, allergies into the food. So there you can also use these printers to print the card because that's changing for day to day, depends on what food they're going to be delivered. So that's a new area for card printers.
Absolutely, and of course, also for this family, we have a lot of features. So in the print DNA family, we have the same built up like we have on the other products. We have the management tools, we have the development tools, productivity tools, and also visibility tools that we talked about, linking this into an MDM system as well.
Yeah, and we're also having the cloud print functionality. So as on all our Link OS printers, It's very easy to print to the printer from the cloud, so you do not need to have the direct connection to the printer, and that's the same getting with the PDF direct. Just small topics here, because now we are talking about security before. We have also adding a security feature on our link.os where you can lock down different functionalities you're not using on the link.os, closing ports, closing the web interface to the printer, more for doing a more secure printer environment. Because on printers is firmware driven, and firmware is not as often updated compared to an Android or a Windows PC. So that's also a security feature we have added into our link.os.
Oh, that's perfect. And no printing without any labels. So we are one of the biggest suppliers also when it comes to labels. We have a lot of the most sold labels always on stock. So this should be easy to get hold of. And also, if you want any custom labels, come to us and we can make it on your demands as well. And this comes also all kind of labels, and also the ribbons for the thermal transfer printers as well. So let's move on. If you're going into the scanning business and the RFID, we also have there a very big portfolio. We're not going into every bits and pieces of this, but this is the main portfolio. Yeah. So it's a lot of typical handheld scanners. We have the industry scanners that are typically used in the warehouse and maybe mounted on the forklift. We have hands-free scanners, mounted on kiosk, typical POS systems, or integrated scale scanners, typically used in grocery stores. Also, if you look at the RFID, we have a big portfolio of those. And also at the bottom here, I also must mention we have also the DNA for the scanning.
Yeah, and on the DNA, if we just should pick on few things here, I think it's very important to say, if you have old scanners like with the naming symbol or Motorola, it's still the same. We still have one tool to do the configuration or copy an already existing scanner to one of the new ones. So we have one tool taking care of all our scanners. 1, 2, 3 scan. Just connect your scanner, load off your configuration, take a new one, load the configuration in, and up and you go. Maybe you want to add new features. Edico can support you on adding all the new features, the new hardware have, but it's very easy to replace old equipment with new equipment, and it's one tool fit all our scanners.
Yeah.
Secondly, there was just one thing more I will touch on, and this is more for retail, and that was our SMS service. SMS is not like the text messaging, but that's our scanner management services. So that's meaning MDM for scanners on the cashier line. So that's meaning if you're changing a configuration remotely, you can change on all the scanners that are connected to your system. Very powerful tool. It's a non-cost tool. It's a tool part of our mobile DNA when you're buying our products to manage your scanners in a huge fleet. That's it, Eo, from my side.
Thank you. So also here we have continuously improved the scanners as well, and we have launched new scanners every year, several every years actually, but I would just want to highlight one that's not so old now. It's a CS60 series, a companion scanner. Comes in just in black and in the white is a healthcare specific scanner with specific medical grade plastic for cleaning. But this is a kind of a hybrid scanner, because this could be also a corded scanner, so you can add a cable to it and you can also put it in presentation mode. So this is a scanner for multi-use. You can use it to a typical POS system, you can use it to a POS, you can use it to a truck terminal. Also, it's lots of use cases.
Or for example, to a consumer mobile phone, we can also connect directly. Yeah. iPhone or Android, no issue at all.
Yeah. Another new product that we haven't launched yet, but this will come later this year. This is an ultra-rugged scanner with a keypad. So it could maybe look like a hybrid between a mobile terminal and a rugged scanner. And it almost is, but it doesn't have any operating system, not like a mobile computer. But you can integrate this with our software, of course, and it's easy to scan, and then you can just push in the number of what you're scanning if you have counted it, for example. So it is for customers that have used the old MT2000 that we launched many years ago. This will replace that, and we also know some competitors have similar solutions. So this will, later this year, maybe Q3, Q4, that area in the autumn, we will see this. Was also mentioned the RFID portfolio. RFID is a new wave again, the 5th or maybe 6th wave with RFID we see now. And we have seen a lot of RFID, especially into fashion sport, but now we see RFID is also coming into the warehouse and into other areas as well, like healthcare, like Daniel also mentioned. So we have a wide portfolio of RFID, and have that for years, and we are also the market leader in that area. So if you have RFID projects, come to Edico, come to us and talk about that. We have delivered this now in the market for many years, as you said, and we also see that the demand for more rugged RFID devices, as this is moving into the warehouse, also in the supply chain, is also coming. So we have added new features on that as well, like we see here on the MC33 typical warehouse handle terminals. It's also, as you see here, there's something in yellow here, and for those who maybe have used some of RFID solutions already, well familiar with the RFD 8500 and maybe the RFD 2000 that we have heard earlier as well. This will be replaced coming now into the second half of this year with the new model we call RFD 40. So this will be a very fast RFID scanner. So it will read like 1100 tags per second, up to 6 meters range. It will be IP54 and will also, you can drop it 1.5 meter to the ground, to concrete. And this will also come in different configurations. So it could be just a Bluetooth communication with a consumer device or a Zebra device, or it could be physical connected to one of our devices like TC5257 or EC5550 or TC2126 as well. So then you have a complete solutions together, and then I connected with something we call eConnect. There are small pins on the backside.
Yeah, and one of the benefits here, when you are using solutions together with our mobile device, we are having a charging solution where we can charge both units at the same time, because we also have integrated a battery into the handle to manage the RFID reader part of it. Yeah.
That's so. If you're looking into, we have talked about the mobile products earlier today, and we still have some news here also been launched. So we have a big portfolio covering every needs, I think, in every verticals. But I want to highlight that we launched earlier this year the EC5 series, EC50 and EC55. So the difference between them on almost every mobile computer from Zebra is the lowest number is the Wi-Fi version, and the highest number is the 4G version as well. So what you see here is this is a new force from us. It's still rugged, but we have thought about much more about the design on this one. So it's similar like an iPhone or a Samsung device on the thickness. So it's only 9.6 millimeters thick. Also have it with an extended battery, then it goes a bit more fatter, but still it smooths, it fits perfectly into your pocket. And we have built in a scanner, of course, because our customers want to scan, but it's possible to have different scanners on this as well. And this is also supporting the Workforce Connect and everything that we have talked about earlier today. So this is who's a typical user for this kind of device, you think, Jesper?
And we are seeing a lot of different kind of users. Here we are seeing more users that are using this as the full work tool. So people that are using it like with Workforce Connect, emails at the same time also with the application. We are beginning to see some hospitals is using it as an additional to a smartphone. So they're also getting the scan engine, got the long time service and the long time support. this device here is running our latest and greatest Snapdragon 660 platform. So that's meaning at least this will be upgradable to Android 12 at this stage. So it's very, very thin, look really like I'm sorry to say, a smartphone, but in a rocket casing with a barcode scan engine and a Zebra service around it.
Yeah, so this is a typical more individual
Yes.
terminal. So it's not typical a shared. It could be a shared device, of course, but typical more a personal device. And then you get a good smartphone into the portfolio and on the same platform as everyone else.
Yeah, and so you also have the benefit of if you have different kind of favorite for Zebra devices with application configuration, you can just directly install it on the same device with the same setup, the same hardware behind it. So that's very easy to use these if you already have a setup running on Zebra.
Some of you might already have seen this device. It has been in the market for a little while. The TC2126 is the replacement of the TC2025. There are some major updates, so it's more than just a replacement. It's a bigger screen. It's different memory settings, and it's supporting more of the Android versions that will coming in the future as well. What you see here now is two different devices. We have the black one is the usual one, and this is also coming with a healthcare version. And this is the first time we also have a healthcare version with supporting 4G as well. So
that's right.
If you have, so if there are anyone wanted to have that opportunity on the healthcare devices, we are now supporting that as well. And I would also see, if you see that small red button on the back side there, that is an alert button. So that has been a question from our customers that they want to have to push this if this goes alarm, for example, and they need help as soon as possible. We're not going into everything of devices. You can read this for yourself later, but of course this is supporting a lot of accessories as well, like cradles and charging devices.
I think one of the good things here we can mention here is we are on the most of all our new devices, including this one we are looking at here, we are including the possibility to use eSIM card. eSIM card is instead of a physical card, is on-air SIM card loading into the mobile device. For some customers have no value, but for some customers it's very important. It's not possible to remove the SIM card from the device, and that's when you're using eSIM. It's also more easy to roll out a huge portfolio of mobile devices with eSIM without touching the devices, because these can be loaded through the mobile operator directly into the device. But that's also a beneficial feature we have integrated using eSIM technologies, including a normal nano SIM if you want to use a normal regular SIM card.
And for people doing administration of mobile phones and putting in SIM cards back and forth, that is quite a job. So, yeah.
That's right. And it's also much easier if, as an end customer, you want to change a vendor. It's much easier when you're using an eSIM. You can just do it night over compared to getting all devices in and changing the SIM card.
Moving into the tablet portfolio, some of you are familiar with the ET5 series. We had for some years. We also launched a new one last year with the integrated scanner, a typical retail tablet. I mentioned also that we acquired a company called Explore and added the L10 series, that is the ultra rugged tablets, into the family. And when we acquired Explore, they also had a 12-inch tablet. And that we are now going to replace with the ET8 series. It doesn't mention that in the name that is a 12-inch, but remember, the 8 number is a 12-inch. So that fits very good into our portfolio. So, of course, we are on the ET5 and the L10. We are supporting both Android and Windows. But on the 12-inch, for now, we're just going with the Windows version as well. And this will be launched later this year. And adding a bigger screen, Jesper, that gives us also some more use cases. And
Yeah, we have seen a huge demands for our customers around warehousing, where they want a bigger screen on the truck compared to a 10-inch. We're also seeing somebody using it more like a workstation, so they're carrying it around. That could be electrician installation, where they need a bigger screen for the application they're running, for seeing the diagrams they're using. So that's some of all the benefits that 12-inch displays is bringing to the table. At the same time, we have done what you call it a slick design. I think I have one over here, a beta unit. Maybe bring it, but I don't think it's easy to see. It's very, very thin. If you're looking here, it's a beta unit, all right. And we have this very nice attachable keyboard down at the bottom, as you are seeing for consumer devices. So you do not have any bulky back you need to add to the device. You can just easily slip on the keyboard and you can fold it on the top. So now you get like a physical laptop with a tablet in the field. So that's some of the benefits we're bringing. We have these very slick 12-inch, but still rugged and a still long life cycle.
This will be, yes, this will be the first product actually where we support Wi-Fi 6 and also late 5G.
That's right. The 5G is like coming up, especially here in the Nordic area. I don't know how it is on Iceland, but 5G is the first device here. We are supporting it, and the same on the Wi-Fi as you were mentioning. Wi-Fi 6E is what we're going to support here.
Yeah, and of course we have a unmatched comprehensive suite of accessories to this as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So with that, I think we are coming to an end. I would just like to say, if we will share information from today's webinar, of course, but we have a great website, zebra.com. Visit that for more information. And I would also, we have used a lot of resources the last year on our YouTube channel with small videos just for marketing, but also know-how videos and deeper dig technical things. So there's lots of content that are suitable both for a technical person and non-technical person as well. So I think with that, I would just launch the last poll.
Question now. Yeah.
So Gretar, I think we can leave it over to you to summarize, and if you have had any questions during the way.
Ivo, have getting any questions, and we need to reply on here on the questions. I'm trying to find the question.
That's not unusual in Iceland. So.
All right, so no questions. All right.
I think
everything is crystal clear.
I think also people are eager to get to lunch, so it's 12 o'clock now in Iceland. So I think we'll just wrap up and thank everybody for attending, and please stay in contact with us if you have any questions or want to have a dialogue with us regarding the topics that have been mentioned. Of course, Zebra and Edico offer a lot more that has been demonstrated here, but at least I think these points were really interesting, and I thank you, Ivo and Jesper, for this. So thank you very much and have a nice day.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you the same, and have a good lunch now.
Yeah, have a good lunch.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.